Hello, Kirstin speaking.
Hey Kirstin, it's Kate. Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks Kate, lovely to hear from you.
Well, I thought since it's your birthday and you're in Sydney, if you have a bit of time, I'd love to take you for a drink.
Oh, I'd love that. I'm just down at Woolloomooloo having a look around and I'm just near the Andrew Boyd Charlton pool if you want to meet there.
Ah yeah, ABC pool, yeah, I know it. I can be there in a couple of minutes. I have the perfect vehicle. To get to my interview with Kirstin this morning, I've chosen a super fast jet engine that can cruise at an altitude of 4 feet. It's got a 320 cubic inch V4 with 5-speed auto, air conditioning, power windows and Bluetooth. Can I figure out how to use the Bluetooth? No, our budget couldn't cover an F111 and this is the only car I've got. It's a 2013 Mazda 3. Let's see how it handles Sydney traffic. And welcome to our third episode of At the Bar with Kate. Today I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by Dr. Kirstin Ferguson. Kirstin is known to many people as a leading company director. She's a keynote speaker, she's a champion for women in business, and she's also soon to become an author. So Kirstin, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here.
And we're here in Woolloomooloo because actually once upon a time you had a career in the military. So we thought we'd set up here at the beautiful Andrew Boyd Charlton pool with the Navy ships in the background as a bit of a reflection on your former military history. It's also a very special day because Kirstin has lent us the morning of her birthday. Happy birthday, Kirstin!
21 today.
21 today. You don't even look 20. All right, so we're here. It's called At the Bar because we always bring our favourite guest drink along. And Kirstin told me that she doesn't often drink alcohol, which works for me. I'm not a big drinker either. But you do have a
little addiction
yeah. to one drink Pepsi Max.
I really am admitting all my sins, but I can't get past this because anyone on a board with me knows that I drink an awful lot of
Pepsi
Max or Coke Zero or Coke No Sugar.
Right.
But yeah, any of the diet cola drinks.
So, I mean, here, we've got your Pepsi Max.
I need a drink.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
So why is it Pepsi Max above Coke No Sugar and Coke Zero?
I don't know. It's a personal preference. Maybe there's more caffeine. I have no idea. But, you know, put me up against the wall. I'll have any of them.
Yeah. Kirstin was already quite well known as a leading company director and a very in-demand keynote speaker. She's known as a champion for diversity in the corporate world. But her profile kind of exploded last year when she started, sort of by accident, a social media campaign that went absolutely viral. That was the hashtag Celebrating Women campaign. How did it begin and what inspired it, Kirstin?
Yeah, look, as you said, it really did start by accident. So I was on summer holidays and I love being on social media. I love connecting with people like you and others on Twitter. And I was really noticing the amount of denigration women face online just for having an opinion or for not even having an opinion, just for being present online. And I wanted to see more celebration and less denigration of women. And I had no idea what that would look like, but I decided to see whether or not I could share a story or a thread of tweets about an individual woman. And the very first profile I did was of my mother, and I didn't tell anyone it was my mum, but I just asked her to answer 4 questions and shared some photos, and that began what became 757 women that I ended up celebrating, who came from 37 different countries. So it became much bigger than I ever anticipated and incredibly rewarding for me.
I think today, because it's your birthday, it is time for us to celebrate you. I'm going to ask you the questions that you asked everyone in Celebrating Women. The first one was, how would you describe what it is you do without using a position title?
Yeah, and this is when I'd say, imagine you're telling a 5-year-old what you do. And it was one of the questions that I think made it a really inclusive campaign because there was no position titles. So what I would say is, what I hope to do is help other people be the best they can be, whether that's in business or my children or my girlfriends or strangers I've never met before.
And what did you want to be when you were at school?
Well, ironically, I wanted to be in the Navy.
Yes, that's why we're here.
Yeah.
There's Navy ships in the background.
I did, and I ended up joining the Air Force because I didn't do advanced maths at school. So I went and knocked on the Navy's door and said, I'd like to join, and they went, yeah, you don't even qualify. So I moved along, and God bless the Air Force, they let me in.
What are 3 words you would use to describe your life to date?
Diverse, memorable, and loved.
Nice. And who do you hope to inspire and why?
I really do hope that I can inspire anyone who's got that little idea but thinks, oh, no one would be interested or it wouldn't make a difference. And I hope that I can show other people that having that tiny idea I had about celebrating one woman, and it was my mother, could lead to this wave of change for other women. So go for it if you have an idea.
Amazing. Back to before you became known as the company director that you are, you actually once upon a time wanted to be a lawyer and you studied law, is that right?
Absolutely. I was obsessed with being a lawyer.
Yeah, so what?
I've kind of gone on this circuitous route, but I mentioned before I'd wanted to join the Defence Force, so I went to the Australian Defence Force Academy from school. And had they offered law as a university degree at ADFA, I would have done it, but they didn't, so I did a history degree instead, which I loved. But as soon as I graduated from ADFA and found myself in the Air Force, I started studying law because it had been a long-held ambition to become a lawyer.
Didn't you fly F-111 pilots? You're a Top Gun pilot or something?
No, I was at an F-111 squadron, and so, like a cliche, I was posted there. I was 21 and single from ADFA. Met my husband who was flying F-111s on the second day.
And I can imagine you would have really learnt a few management skills from a young age in that situation.
Well, yeah, you're 21 and I was leading sort of sergeants who'd been in the Air Force longer than I'd been alive.
Yeah, and many male, right?
Oh, mainly
with
men.
A younger female.
Yeah, absolutely. So you certainly need to learn and adapt your leadership skills to the environment.
So after this huge diverse career from lawyer, pilot, board director, now you've decided to go another one, and you're now an author, and you're going to be releasing a book with Walkley Award-winning journalist Catherine Fox, who also wrote Stop Fixing Women. And what's this book called? When is it out?
So the book's called Womankind, and it's going to be out in stores in September, which I'm so exciting. Pinching myself because it's really a dream come true. And again, who would have thought that a small idea would lead this way? But the book is going to be looking at the Celebrating Women campaign and my own sort of journey through that and what I learned by celebrating 2 women every single day of 2017. And we'll hear from some of the women who are involved. And then we're also going to be debunking once and for all this queen bee myth that women don't support women, because the evidence just shows that's not true. And what I learned from Celebrating Women is this old adage and the saying that, if you should be so fortunate as a woman to be successful and reach your goals, that you should drop the ladder down for other women behind you. I say, forget the bloody ladder.
Forget the ladder.
The ladder was only ever designed for one person at a time. And in fact, when you think about it, you hold on for dear life so no one can get past. That's why it's designed that way. So I think we need to get rid of the whole ladder analogy, and what I learnt from Celebrating Women is we can drop down a fishing net and lift up many, many women at the same time.
So we're nearly done here, but before we go, I have a little game that I like to play with my guests. This started with Michael Kirby and he's made it a bit of a thing. So basically you get these 2 paddles. One of them is, you'll have to recall back to your law degree days.
I can remember.
One of them, if you agree with what I've said, obviously the green, and if you're in dissent, the red.
All right.
So 5 last questions. Coke Zero over Pepsi Max? Of course. Pineapple on pizza has become... Pineapple on pizza, you like that?
Fabulous.
Oh, no.
You can't get enough pineapple on pizza.
Everyone has said yes to that. Australia to have a female Prime Minister in the next 10 years?
I hope so.
Hope so. Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Whether it becomes reality, but we will see. should we have laws that enforce 50-50 gender representation on boards?
Oh, the quota question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes?
I
and
was always in dissent, and now I'm in agreement.
And why have you changed your mind?
Oh, because we're just not seeing change without it. And
Yeah.
I think we seem to have quotas for all sorts of other things. I think if we can't manage to get 50-50 gender parity on our own, then we need some assistance.
Final question, and this has a few involved, but I know that the spelling of your name is potentially an area that people can't seem to get right. It's Kirstin, right?
It is.
So I'm going to hold up a few different ways that you might spell, and I've seen your name spelt, and you can just dissent or concur. Okay, not Kirstin. Not
not that one. I get all of these in any one. I haven't had that one before.
That's pretty obviously wrong. What about this one?
Yeah, afraid not.
I'm so sorry we got it wrong. That was on the LSJ this month. If you noticed the little small error, good on you.
It's quite amazing. I reckon 80% of people spell my name incorrectly.
Your name wrong.
Yeah, I blame my parents. Yeah.
For future reference, everyone.
Oh, that's it.
This is how you spell it. Kirstin Ferguson, Kirstin with an I. Thank you so much for coming to meet us today.
Thank you so much. It was lovely to be here.
Thanks for the Pepsi. And hopefully I'll see you again soon.
All right, thank you.
Cheers. We got. Oh, you just drank without.
Okay, cheers.
But why? Oh, that is good, isn't it? Why is it? What is it?